Welcome back to another episode of NFT Catcher Podcast. We'd like to remind everybody that nothing on the show is meant as financial advice, and to please do your own research. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Now the subject is NFTs.
They're known as non-fungible tokens, or NFTs.
NFTs are exploding in popularity.
This is a technology that will forever change the way people interact.
So it is happening whether you understand it and like it or not.
This phenomenon is moving. The digital.
You have now joined Jenny from the blockchain and Michael Keene on the NFT Catcher Podcast.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the NFT Catcher Podcast with me, Jenny from the blockchain, and my co-host, Michael Keene. Today, we are interviewing Sibel, who is a huge collector, trader, founder, and just, all around really great NFT person to interview, in my opinion. And her story is very interesting. So I'm very excited to bring her on the show. Sibel, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited as well.
Yes. Yeah. So first of all, let's start with your NFT journey. How did you first get into NFTs?
Sure. So in 2021, I was still going to university, and at the same time, I was working as a digital marketer in a company. So last year, I heard the concept of NFTs from the news and from the internet. However, after doing some research, I did not do well on it because I didn't understand exactly what I could do with NFTs. So after the huge sale of Beeple, the $69 million ones, everyone was talking about NFTs. So I started following Beeple on Twitter. I began to like and comment on his posts. And by seeing me from these posts, someone DM'd me and suggested that I should buy an NFT from a project called Crypto Baby Punks. So these NFTs were selling for around 0.09 Ethereum or so. At that time, I was working for $350 a month. So it was a pretty high amount for me to invest. But this person insisted, and I bought an NFT by telling myself that my life is going like shit anyway. So, however, I was still not aware what an NFT is. I didn't know the details such as rarities and properties. So I wasn't aware of things like gas fees, listing something on OpenSea, checking other wallets, etc. Then I thought I could sell it right after I bought it, but for sure that didn't happen. And after some days, I devoted myself to understand what NFTs are and learned Etherscan, like studied things like gas fees, OpenSea, and other concepts. Back then, the Crypto Baby Punks was dropping like 50 to 60 items per day. And the mint model was first come, first serve. So the rarest piece of the collection was the Alien Baby Punk. And I spent a few days on my laptop following the drops. And on the day they were going to drop the Alien Baby Punk, I examined the wallets of everyone who was waiting for this drop. I found their names from Discord, and I really started to wait for this drop by transferring all of my savings to my own wallet. Then, as you can imagine, I was able to mint this Alien by bidding the highest gas fee, let's say, and I was still very scared because, like, for real, it was all of my savings that I spent, and I probably wouldn't even be able to pay my rent for the next month. And I was totally young and dumb. At the same evening, 888, who was very interested in this collection, DM'd me. And he said, like, he wanted to buy the Alien Baby Punk from me. And I sold it to him for something like 5.888 Ethereum, something around 6 Ethereum. And of course, I was in shock. And because I earned my salary of about 3 years in a single transaction, it was funny. And basically, this transaction has created a good capital for my further investments. And then I started jumping into discords of like many other projects and got my hands full with NFTs. And I remember the day like Bored Apes came out and I bought 2 of them. Like likewise, I spent a lot of time on Ghost's project's Discord and sold an NFT I won from their giveaway for about 10 Ethereum. And after that, I won one of the 140 NFTs that Twitter dropped and sold it for around 20 Ethereum. And all of these happened within 6 months, I guess. And of course, it was not easy to go to a university, work somewhere, and like chase NFTs at the same time. I was spending like 9 to 10 hours on many Discord channels. I even remember like a few times I was in a meeting pretending my internet was down and chasing an NFT drop instead. So keep it between us, but yeah, that was the case. And long story short, like after all these, I graduated from my university and I quit my job. So I'm now full-time in NFTs since last August. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So much there. I did want to just kind of, because you briefly mentioned this, but this was huge at the time. I remember when Twitter, I don't know if our listeners remember this or if they were on Twitter long enough to remember this, but Twitter came out with their own NFT drop. Like it wasn't like a whole collection, but they had like several NFTs that they gave away. Like you couldn't buy them, right? Like they gave them away to people on Twitter.
Yes, exactly. They gave away all of these like 140 NFTs from their Twitter.
140, and that's because you can only type out 140 characters in a tweet.
Yeah.
And at the time, this was in 2021. At the time, there was a lot of hype around this and everyone was super excited. And these were going for a lot of money. And like Sibel had said, she sold hers for 24 ETH, which wasn't even the highest sale. Like they ended up going up to like, there was some really high sales with those.
Yeah, 50 Ethereum, 69 Ethereum or so. But yeah, I sold mine around 20 Ethereum as far as I remember. But yeah.
So then what did you do with that Ethereum? When
I hold it for my like further investments. But I was so happy at that time because it was something really huge for me because I was still working for $350 per month. So it's something crazy for me.
That's wild. Yeah, completely life-changing. And I know you consider yourself a very lucky person. And
I am.
Yeah, because you say you win a lot of giveaways.
Yes, that's correct. Like before NFTs, I was doing that contesting for 6 years or so. I won a lot of giveaways and I have traveled to 39 countries and 6 continents by just winning giveaways. Like I paid nothing. And yeah,
that is so really wild. What, like, how does that happen?
Yeah, I won my first ever contest, let's say, about 7 years ago. It was from one of the biggest banks in Turkey. And they asked from their Twitter, like, tweet something, tweet the most creative thing, and tell us why do you want to go to Los Angeles with someone famous from the Turkey. So I tweeted 300 times in total. And they chose me. And I asked their managers, like, why did you choose me? And they said, because we saw that you really want this shit. And yeah, we chose you. So after that, I started to chase like different contests. I went to Grammys. I went to San Francisco with it was a trip, like a Transformers themed trip for me. And lots of different stuff. And yeah, 6 continents in total. And I really want to visit Antarctica one day. And I'm still waiting for a contest for that because I want to be the person who have traveled 7 continents by winning contests. So I'm not buying a vacation. But yeah, I'm waiting for a contest. And I'm lucky. You're right.
Well, you're not just lucky, but you make your own luck. Like, you do these contests where it's like, okay, here's the requirements. And then you just go above and beyond, like writing 300 tweets, to really try and win. Like definitely put in the work and, you're out here creating your own luck,
exactly.
Which is why you're so lucky, right? Like,
exactly.
But geez, that's so crazy. And yeah, I know you had such a wild story of like the start of your NFT journey that I was like, oh, we definitely got to bring her on to share this.
Thank you.
But I'll let Michael ask a question now because I feel like people are going to think he's not even in this podcast
I'm
episode.
here. I'm here listening. No, we're all good.
Okay, here
Hi.
it is. Let's go.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I didn't realize you were into the crypto baby punks and had a rare one. That's funny. Our buddy VGF was one of the community managers back when I was friends with him on Clubhouse. You know, this was back in whatever it was, May of 2021. He got us all buying, and it went up to like an ETH floor for a while. If you remember, like it really popped.
Yes,
off.
I remember.
Yeah, so you minted it, and you minted one of the rarest ones. Is that what you said?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. And then 888 bought it from you. I love that.
Yes,
That's
nice.
Yeah, that's so cool how like you were able to get a couple of those real big hits and NFTs. Like that must have been amazing. You must have like it happened, it happened to a lot of us. Like it was amazing for me as well. But going from, like you said, making $350 a month to hitting, 30 grand or 40 grand, whatever it was on an NFT. I mean, that's incredible. Congratulations.
That was life changing for me.
Yeah. And you made it, you're the one that made it happen. Like Jennifer said, like it, like anybody could have been doing it. People say, oh, like you got lucky with NFTs, but no, it's not really, it's part luck being in the right place at the right time, but it's part putting yourself there and doing the right things. And I actually came across your account when you started setting up for that For the Culture drop. And I thought that was really unique because you guys paid people 0.01 to mint, right? Yeah. Has anybody else done that, or are you the only one as far as you know?
I think no, but I'm not really sure. But we should be the first ones. Yeah.
Yeah, you were that was pretty cool. So I did the math. That was about 70 ETH, right?
Yes, we invested 70 in total. Yeah.
Cool. And I don't know, do you have anything you want to say about that? I mean, so the project, like it popped off. It got huge for the first while. And then as I look at it, I see obviously the price went down, but you guys, you did it for the memes, for the culture, what you promised. That's something we talk about a lot here. Do you have any insight to provide? Like, have you gotten any backlash? Are you really happy how it went down? What's your kind of take on that part of it?
Yeah, sure. So it was really crazy for me. But before that, like before For the Culture, I haven't mentioned it, but I am also a part of a project called Fluffy Polar Bears. So if I can quickly talk about it as well, I would be so happy.
Yeah, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah. I think we should, because after you, first of all, you started collecting and flipping and trading and like doing really well as a collector. I guess this is a good transition. Like, what made you decide to then go and be a founder of a project? And then what did you go on to end up doing?
I live in Turkey right now, and we launched an NFT collection with one of the Turkey's most famous cartoonists called Selçuk Erdem. And our project was Fluffy Polar Bears, like 10,000 cute polar bears as NFTs. And the project was sold out in 3 seconds. So it's been about a year since the project came out. With this project, we donated $150,000 to a fund related to global warming. And at the same time, we sent 6 of our holders to an Arctic Island trip with our artist Selçuk. And FTX sponsored us for this event as well. And it was really enjoyable for us. And we organized the biggest in real life event in Turkey with Fluffy Polar Bears, and more than 300 people attended. And it was incredibly fun as well. So besides all of these fun things, by the way, we had major problems during the mint of Fluffy Polar Bears due to certain mistakes made by one of our technical team members. And he then abandoned the project. So we started working with another technical team instead. Still, like, it was a really stressful process for me. Apart from the Polar Bears project, as you know, I shared a post after seeing a tweet of Archie about 2 months ago and said that I want to make a project that will pay back 0.01 Ethereum to each minter. So the tweet instantly went viral. And while I was trying to make a joke, I suddenly put thousands of people in anticipation. And after that, like, I immediately created a Discord account and took 2 partners with me and started a free mint project within a week. So we paid 0.01 Ethereum to the minters in the same transaction of their minting. So it was an instant process, and it was a really original one, as you said, in my opinion. So a lot of founders and projects DM'd me to get whitelist spots from the For the Culture project. And I really had the busiest 1 week of my life because we launched within 1 week exactly after that tweet. So we have invested 70 Ethereum, as we said, and we earned something around 180 Ethereum, I guess, from secondary sales, as our royalty is 10%. But unfortunately, because I implemented the project so quickly, like I had no clues, I had to pay a lot of money to people at every step. And then I was left alone by my co-founders as they were not interested in the project anymore. Like if you're not doing a lot of money, we are not in. So for a project that even pays you back for a free mint, reaching a zero 0.5 Ethereum floor price and achieving 2.5K volume was quite a success for me, especially when you're in such a bear market. So we currently have a community team of 10 people, and they're helping me with technical parts and community parts and social media parts. So I continue to add value to the project as much as I can. And also, I didn't make any money from this project, to be honest. And I even publicly shared the financial statements and transactions with the community to be super clear with them. And since the community knows this, they support me unconditionally and we run the project together. So I'm really happy that I did this. But yeah.
And that was recently too. That this was like in the last month.
Yeah, I think that was early June, actually.
Oh, early
right?
June.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's
about
been
2.5 months
or
ago.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Feels like longer than that, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Feels-
exactly.
That's funny.
I feel like it was just yesterday. I remember seeing the tweet about it.
Time flies. Yeah.
You made a really good point there about being transparent with your community and and then supporting you because you were honest with them. Definitely people should take heed to that.
Exactly. Like I said, and I showed that I earned nothing from this project, because when an investor and someone outside our community comes in and saw the 2.5K Ethereum volume, they asked me, like, you earned probably 250 Ethereum out of this project. And they don't know about other founders. They don't know about the spendings I made. They don't know about the 70 Ethereum we paid to minters. So they're just asking, you need to have 250 Ethereum right now in your wallet. So they're starting to ask more questions. And at the end of the day, it's really hard for me to explain it one by one to each member that are joining us. So I decided to make a thread and Twitter and post it, all transactions and all wallets and all details I have. So that I showed my community and other people that I earned nothing out of this project. Like, it's my bad. I made bad decisions, but yeah, at the end of the day, that's the truth. So I'm so happy that people are supporting me right now. My community is supporting me. They're trying to achieve like better things with me and for the culture project. So yeah, I'm glad that worked out for us.
What are some of the things you've learned from being a founder versus a collector?
So I can say that like I have learned countless things, but let me talk about the most crucial ones. So I took on the all marketing and Discord structuring and community management of Fluffy Polar Bears. So I was doing project management for them and like marketing for them at the same time. So on the technical side, someone we know in real life coded our smart contract. So in order to avoid any problems, we had this contract audited by another team that we trust a lot before the mint. So we warned, they warned us about four parts, and we warned our smart contract developer as well. And like the technical team had to correct these parts. But however, like he forgot to make these corrections. And of course, we realized this when we were attacked by bots during the mint and sold out in 3 seconds, because like we were not expecting such a thing, like sold out in 3 seconds. And it was a really stressful moment for me. And the whole team was in the same place, and we were having mixed feelings of anger and sadness without even being happy to be sold out. Like there was about $3 million in the contract at that time. And that wasn't really making us happy at all, because we were so attached to the project that this mistake affected us psychologically, like negatively. And I suddenly found myself dealing with messages that contained like crazy FUD, and I was trying to calm people down, even though there was nothing I did wrong. Like we are a team, you know. So it was really hard to cope with this situation. And here I learned that, like, after having something audited, the new or audited contract should also be audited. So as a lesson, I no longer do business by trusting anyone, or like at least I'm very skeptical when I'm doing business. And I also took like similar lessons from the Horticulture project. So I definitely don't think I will be involved in a new project again in the future. So I chose the wrong partners and Horticulture project, suffered a lot. And because of my wrong choices, it was crazy. Also, like by turning something that started as a joke into a project, maybe was not a good move at all, but I tried my best. So like launching a project is never easy, especially if you're someone who feels the responsibility of the mistakes of other team members. But yeah, I learned many things, and what's important is taking lessons out of the mistakes at the end of the day.
How do you pick like who to work with as far as developers and co-founders and, you know, just people on the team? Like, how do you find those people that you want to work with?
All right. So for Fluffy Polar Bears project, I was in real life friends with one of my co-founders, Alem Shah, and we were 3 co-founders in Fluffy Polar Bears team. Alem Shah, me, and Selçuk, the artist. So in real life, like I was talking with Alem Shah, and he said, like, let's do that. And then we talked with Selçuk, and we created this project. So mostly when I'm working, for example, right now we have about 10 team members in Fluffy Polar Bears projects that are working with me as like community managers, I don't know, like Discord moderators, etc. So I really know them because it has been more than 1 year for us, and I'm talking with them daily. So I know them, and I know that they're good people. So when I'm choosing people to work with, I'm trying to find people that I really know in real life. But at the same time, for Fluffy Polar Bears, we were knowing the one who was working with us in the smart contract part. But simply, I'm sorry to say that, but he fucked up and he left. So it's really hard to choose people to work with, specifically when you need to trust someone that you don't know in real life, because like, you know, you're talking them by using Twitter DMs. Like, yeah, it's really hard to find people, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying to know the people before I work with them. But like we make mistakes, we are doing them. We are humans, so yeah.
Yeah, everyone makes mistakes, you know, which kind of brings me to my next question, which is what someone in the community recommended we start asking our guests, which is why do you think NFT projects fail, and what does it mean for a project to fail?
All right, it's a tough question, but it's a good one. So I think like there are numerous reasons for this. The best and the shortest answer would be like it's human effect, because like NFTs are managed by people, and because of that we need to consider like emotions, psychological effects, and many different effects of these people on these projects. So I think that this is a deep topic, and maybe we can talk about it for 1 or 2 hours. Like even a tweet by a founder can sometimes put the project in a dead end. And also knowing like why NFT projects fail is not enough to have a successful NFT project, because like I know a lot of things that may lead an NFT project to fail. But at the same time, it's really hard to have a successful NFT project. And like besides all of these, we need to define what a successful project means. If it's their floor price, like you can never know. A whale can come and dump a lot of NFTs after a breakup with his girlfriend, let's say. And if you can create enough demand at the end of the day, the floor will continue to drop. So as I said, I think the best answer is like human movements and psychology, and it's really hard to understand.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What are some of your personal favorite NFTs to collect. And I think you had bought a CryptoPunk at one point, right? And do you still have that?
So yeah, it's a good question as well. You'll catch it. So I didn't buy that CryptoPunk, but there was a guy who were renting these CryptoPunks. And at that time, I wasn't have like a lot of followers, or like, let's say I didn't know many people. And I talked with that guy and he said like, I can rent my own CryptoPunk, because he was holding something like 60 punks or so. And he said like, I can rent it to you. You can use it as your profile picture and you can do the marketing of this punk. But at the end of the day, it will stay at my own wallet. But there was a system that he created. Like, he is offering this CryptoPunk to me for like, I don't know the amount, but for a very huge amount of Ethereum. So like in the blockchain, you can see he's offering me this punk. But at the end of the day, I can't buy it because it's like a lot of Ethereum. I don't remember. So yes, it was a rented punk for me. I used it as my profile picture a lot. I really liked that punk. And yeah, for the other question, my favorite NFTs to collect, I will give it a short answer as well. Like, I love NFTs like Pixelmon's Kevin. Like, I mean, the ones that make me smile.
Really quick, I just want to say that's so crazy that you rented the punk. I didn't even know that. And also that makes me wonder how many people have like their PFP they're rocking, like if it's like a rented NFT. I never really thought about that. I mean, I thought about the concept, like, oh, that'd be a good idea. But then it's like, you know, people are actually doing that right now.
Or if it's even there, there's probably there's probably some people out there that have PFPs that aren't even theirs. I'm sure there's
definitely. I mean, all the scammers, definitely.
Right. Even more than that, even probably some people that aren't scammers, they just
they're just rocking it.
I don't know. You never know.
It was an experiment for that guy, and he was building that platform, and he reached out to me and asked like, if you want to be a part of it, and like, I will rent it to you and you can use it. And it has been something like 1.5 years, I guess. It was at the start of my NFT career, let's say. And I said, okay, like, let's do that, because I was not able to buy a punk at that time. I was still working for a very small amount in my country. So I thought like, it's a good opportunity for me to be seen by other people by using this profile picture. And, you know, the owner is okay with that. And it's his experiment. So it was fun for me to be a part of this experiment. I made a good friend out of it. The owner of that punk, I'm still talking with him daily. So yeah, it was very different and cool.
Yeah, that is wild. That's awesome.
Very cool.
Michael, maybe you should rent out your Bored Ape.
No. Well, how much actually? Actually, how much?
Wait a minute.
Talk. Yeah, everybody want to. I mean, we're gonna.
Now people are using.
It's not cheap, but.
Yeah, for sure. But like, people are using a lot of different profile pictures, even if they're like, these NFTs are not theirs. So now I think it shouldn't work well. As
it wouldn't work as well, right?
Yeah.
So was it transferred to your wallet like temporarily, or is it just like, okay, you have permission to change your profile picture to this?
No, it wasn't transferred to my wallet at all. But in CryptoPunk's website, you were able to see that the owner of the CryptoPunk offered this punk to me for a certain amount. But as I said, it's like, you can't buy it for that amount because it's like a lot of Ethereum, like 99999, like a lot of Ethereum. So it was not possible to buy. But it was showing that like, this person, the owner, is offering this punk to someone else. So that was the renting process, kind of in the front end only. But yeah.
Interesting. That is very interesting. So you started out with, you know, not that much money, as you had said, and you kind of like, you're one of those people that just like went all in and it worked out. You know, it doesn't always work out like that for people, but for you, it did. what advice would you give to people that, maybe they don't have a lot of money starting out? And I know times are kind of different now, so it is a bit of a different game. But what advice would you give to people looking to get into Web3 and NFTs and start trading NFTs, and they don't really have much capital to start with?
So yeah, as you said, like when I started, I had a very small budget. And also at that time, there was no whitelist concept like we have now. And I was winning NFTs or having a chance to buy them by spending time on Discord and following their giveaways. So now it's very difficult to get whitelists from the projects that are very popular or let's say hyped. So it really takes a long time and effort to follow up these projects as well, because there are like a lot of people in these discords. So especially to stay with less risk, let's say, I recommend my friends to chase whitelist spots from the hyped projects. And besides, it's very important to understand the NFT concept. Like, I think it doesn't make sense to buy an NFT without having basic information, such as like what the community is, how the teams are examined, what is the NFT itself, or what is gas fees, is rarity important, etc. So investments that are made after doing a little research seem healthier to me. And of course, taking part in Web3 is not just buying NFT and flipping it. There are many different job opportunities as well, like community management, marketing, like smart contract development, and countless other jobs. So the important point is to do some research on this topic. And like gambling without knowing what it is just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm lucky, but yeah, that doesn't work like that. So I think there are so many opportunities, and you have to search and find them at the end of the day.
100%. Do you have anything in that you're eyeing right now, or like in the future that you're like, oh, this is some alpha right here? Like, for example, the Utes, maybe.
Yes, I was about to say the same.
Yeah, applying for the whitelist for that, which I finally did.
Did you apply for it? Yeah, so did I.
I didn't get approved yet.
Not
hopefully
yet.
Same for me. I'm crying here. Yeah, they didn't approve me yet, and I have applied about 2 weeks ago or so, and all of my friends in their feed, I'm seeing them like they accepted, and I'm not. So I'm so sad. Yeah, I'm waiting for that. I think it's a really like brand new concept, and probably it will work so well in an NFT space, because like we are having this whitelist meta right now, which doesn't make sense to me anymore. It's really hard to get whitelists from like really hyped projects, and like it takes a lot of work for people. They're spending 24 hours a day. They're like getting tattoos of these projects, etc. So
I saw that recent one, that panda one. Yeah, that's so. And honestly, the social proof that they're doing as well right now with the Utes, where it's like, okay, they're tweeting out and they're tagging everybody who gets approved with the whitelist. Normally for projects, you don't know who gets whitelisted, unless they go out of their way and say. But the fact that they're showing like this like transparency on who's on the whitelist, and this whole social proof, because it's on Twitter where everyone is on in the NFT space, is genius. Like, and then it makes you like, you're like, oh, my friends keep getting it. You can see everybody who gets the whitelist, and then it just makes you want it even more, because all these other people are getting it into the whitelist. And really it's just, oh, here's permission to buy the NFT, right? It's just being granted permission. But yeah, it's very, very genious concept. Maybe we should get Frank on sometime before this all blows up, I guess, right? Yeah. So
that would be a good idea to get Frank on. If once he approves us, of course. I mean, he doesn't approve us.
Contingent on
Frank, yeah.
I mean, Frank, come on.
Actually, let's get him on now and ask for the approval.
Or as a compensation, you can ask it. Like if they don't approve you, you can ask like, you didn't approve us, so you need to come to our podcast.
Yeah, we'll record the episode, and then we'll be like, oh, by the way, Frank, if you don't approve us, we're not putting this out.
Yeah, if you want this to air,
threaten them. Yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. We would not do that. Okay.
So, Sibel, I'm looking through your Twitter and I see there's the spreadsheet that's been out there. That's the projects that have done 10K in volume and where their floor price is and how bad the bear market is. Did you actually create that spreadsheet? Is that what it looks like here?
I have created that spreadsheet, but I got the idea from Loopify's tweet and he got it from someone else. I guess he retweeted another tweet. So the original idea was not mine, but I created the
that's
you're looking right
that's
now.
funny. We've talked about that a couple times on this podcast in the last couple episodes because it is so interesting and it really shows you how far down everything has gone. 75%, 85%, 95%. Like
tragic, yes.
Like it's unbelievable, and it's across the board. There's almost none that have held up. That's pretty wild. I didn't realize that you created that.
Yeah, I spent like 1 hour or so to create that spreadsheet to show people, because like from my community, people are coming and asking like, our floor price is dropping, like what can we do? And I'm saying like we're in a bloody bear market right now. So we are trying our best. We're doing our best. But like, these are the situation of all projects. So to show that, I created that spreadsheet and
cool. Yeah, no, that really stuck out to me. I'm glad you created that.
Thank you.
Literally, we've talked about it the last couple episodes because it's so jarring to see.
Yeah, they're all dropping like 90% or more.
And there's none that you left off because they stayed even or went up, right? Like this is all the ones that did 10K.
I think so, but I passed some of them because like I was not able to find their all-time high prices, and some of the all-time high price information are wrong as well in that spreadsheet. But I tried my best. But yeah, probably almost all of them, let's say.
Wow, that's amazing.
I have one more question, and then I'll see if Michael has any final questions, and we'll wrap this up. But I'm just wondering, because I had seen that you were like, thinking about taking a break from the NFT space and everything. It can be just a lot going on. And I'm wondering if there's any future plans in Web3 that you have that you can share with us.
All right. It's a good question. So yeah, I'm tweeting about quitting NFTs every time and I'm not doing it. So I'm so consistent, you can say. So for the future plans, like to tell the truth, I'm 24 years old and I graduated last year. I want to go on a world tour when I can make sure that the 2 projects I'm involved in are performing well. As I said, like I have traveled many countries, so traveling is one of my hobbies. And one of my life goals is to travel more and go on a, let's say, 7 or 8 month world tour. And other than that, like I have no dreams of being involved in a new NFT project, let's say. Just as an example, like 2 weeks ago, I shared a Calendly link for our holders and made 30 minutes online meetings with them. I held about 96 meetings, I guess, in total. And it was all very enjoyable. And I was able to answer many people's questions and chat like a friend with them. And I would like to continue to have such talks and conversations again with my holders in the future and like spending time on it, because what I do is good for me and I'm getting very positive feedbacks from the participants. So now, like, I'm not in the mood to flip NFTs or launch a new project, but I'm in a mindset in which I think about what extra value I can add to the holders of our project. Like I'm thinking about it all the time. And also I'm trying to have fun by like shit posting on Twitter from time to time, as you can see. I love living like this at the moment. And I don't know what will happen next. Like time will show, but I definitely know that I will be in this space for many more years, I guess. So my answer was like, I don't have a plan and that's the plan, but yeah, that was my answer.
You're so young. That's so crazy that you're 24. Okay, I lied. I have a follow-up question to that because what is one of your favorite places that you've traveled to? You said you've been to 39 different countries.
So I really like Japan. I've been in Tokyo. It was such a crazy experience for me because it was one of the first Asian trips of mine. So it was really eye-opening for me. And besides that, I can say Dominican Republic was so good. And 3 weeks ago, I was in Hawaii. I won that prize from Swatch, the watch brand, as you know. And it was a crazy trip as well. It was a really long flight from Turkey to Hawaii. It took me about 20 hours, but it was so nice. I really liked the places in Hawaii. So yeah, I think these 3 places I can tell.
Nice.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been really awesome talking with you and hearing your story. Michael, do you have any last minute things to say?
Yeah, well, I'll ask one more quick question. So like you talk about, and I'm kind of the same way. I know that I want to be in the NFT space. I think Jennifer's the same way. Web3, what's the future going to look like? We don't know. What do you think the next like big impetus for NFTs will be that kind of brings more people in, the next kind of onboarding wave? What do you think that might look like?
Okay, I really have no idea. But, like when I quickly think about it, I don't know, like for example, last week I talked with a company. They're doing this ticketing thing for NFTs. And they said they made some contracts with a lot of famous singers for their concert tickets. So it can be a thing for NFTs, like ticketing and for concerts and for, I don't know, flight tickets, etc. So I'm really bullish on that part, but I really don't have another idea about like what will be the next thing, but we will see, like time will show.
What company was that with tickets? Do you know? It wasn't DSO, was it?
I don't remember their name.
Okay, that's all good. All good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm always interested in tickets. I used to be a ticket broker here in the States.
All right.
So I'm always interested to keep up on that side of it.
Cool. Well, with that said, thank you, Sibel.
Thank you as well.
Said it wrong. It was awesome having you on the show and just hearing about your whole NFT journey and everything that you've done. I hope that everybody listening to this enjoyed the episode. Sibel, any last words?
Thank you so much for having me once again. It was so much fun for me. Yes, thank you.
Sweet. All right. With that said, catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the NFT Catcher Podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something new about the exciting world of NFTs. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you really love what you're hearing, please leave us a rating and review on your favorite platform. If you want to stay up to date with the latest news and insights from the NFT space, be sure to follow us on all the socials at NFT Catcher Pod. You can follow Jennifer at Jennifer_pseudo and Michael at NFTicket. I'm your producer, Andy, and I'm at AJC254. Our theme song's by It's Just Los. We always appreciate your feedback and support, which helps us reach more people and bring you informative and engaging content about NFTs. We look forward to bringing you more great NFT content in future episodes. Thanks for listening. Peace.